Welcome to another episode of the Lone Recruiter Podcast. I'm your host, Brett Clemenson. If you're a recruiter, out on your own, or just lacking general guidance or mentorship, then you've come to the right place. Our to-the-point episodes are designed to give you the motivation, the advice, and the strategies you need to become the very best lone recruiter. So join us, grab a cup of coffee, and let's take your desk to another level. Now, today I want to talk about planning a quarter, okay? It continues to blow my mind. I was asked yesterday by a very senior recruiter, hey, have you got a template or a formula for planning a quarter? I'd be really interested to know how you do that. I obviously asked them, well, do you normally plan your quarters? I said, oh, yeah, kind of. Just kind of go for it. Oh, my God, killing me. So, look, it's become very apparent to me that I'm pretty well organized and I'm pretty good at planning. But, I may not have said it before. I'm like inherently a super lazy person. Anyone who knows me will tell me I'm not a lazy person. But what I mean by that is I hate doing things for the sake of doing things. I hate wasting time. And if I need to do something, I want to do it as quickly as possible, right? Like if I need to make billings in a quarter and I have a certain target in mind, well, I want to get there as quickly as I can, because who wants to work for a quarter? I want to work for a month in a quarter and make my target, right? Yeah? So I'm going to give you my 5 tips. So my 5-point playbook for how you plan your quarter. Now, everyone's going to be different, but these are sort of bits that resonate with me, and I can get into the picture in anyone's desk as quickly as possible, and you can get into your desk as quickly as possible and work out what you need to do to have a really good quarter. So let's jump into it, okay? So I got 5 points, and really what it is, it's like what you need to do and where you're going to get it. So I'm going to break this up. So number 1, I'll give you an example after this. So number 1, you need to know what your annual revenue target is. Like, what are you chasing this year? Is it $1 million? Is it 500 grand? Is it 200 grand? What are you chasing annually? Okay. And let's divide it by 4 because it's a quarter. 2, you need to know what your average deal size is. So how many placements do you need to make to hit your quarterly target? Pretty simple. 3, again, I'm not big on KPIs, but you should know what weekly activity is going to be required to generate the volume of placements that you want, right? You know your numbers. You kind of know what works and what doesn't work. There's a sweet spot for everything. We can overload ourselves. We can underload ourselves. But what is that sweet spot for you to get into the flow of things and to get good outcomes? 4, and this is for me quite a key one, but what is the volume of interviews required per week? How many interviews do you actually need to get from all those activities? And the last one is, who are your key clients? Like what volume of work can you derive from your key clients this quarter, and who are going to be your key clients? Because they do change. Like you might have a couple of key clients this quarter and you fill those roles, and then they're not going to need you next quarter. So, next quarter is possibly going to be a different client base. So they're my top 5, and I'll give you an example of what that might look like. So number 1, which is, what's your annual revenue target? Well, let's just say it's 800 grand for math's sake. Just divide it by 4. That's a 200 grand target. So let's chase 200 grand this quarter, okay? If that's a big number for you or a small number for you or right bang on, it doesn't matter. Let's just go with it for a moment. So number 1, what's your annual target? Let's go for 800, and then let's make that 200 this quarter. So then the second one bit is how many placements is that? So if your average fee size is 20 grand, that's going to mean you need to do 10 placements this quarter. It's not a lot. We can all do that. And I think going through this exercise for me is really great too, because it makes people realize how simple this job can be. We overcomplicate things with other people's agendas and people distracting us. So if we really, really distill this down to what we need, and you kind of start thinking this is actually quite a simple game. 10 placements. So the second one, how many placements? Third thing is like what is that weekly activity? So for me, I will do 2 searches a week. It's like 2 searches, predominantly projects on LinkedIn. Obviously, our using Bullhorn as well in our networks, but I'll do 2 searches a week. That's it. 2 searches a week for specific roles. I'll also, on top of that, do 3 open to opportunity searches on just in my entire market, just to see if there's someone that's popped up that might be outside of a brief, but we can use them, right? Oh, I can float that to these companies. They're going to love that. I get 2 ads up a week. and I will also do one full canvas. So those open to work opportunities, searches on LinkedIn are great for feeding your full canvases. Or you might be doing some searches for clients. There's some other candidates that don't quite fit. Once a week, just do a full canvas of your market. That's kind of my activity. It's not a lot. The fourth one is like, what is the volume of interviews required? So I always chase 5 interviews a week, 5 times 13 weeks in a quarter. 65 interviews in a quarter. That's actually quite a lot. And you can include second interviews, but just movement on your board. You know, you've got first interviews happening, second interviews happening. But if you want to keep it pure, 5 first interviews is usually going to do the trick. And then lastly, what are the key clients and what volume of work can you derive from? So for example, I'll go, okay, company X, I know they've got 2 immediate needs right now and they want me to fill them. So there's 2 there. Client Y, they've got 2 or 3 roles there. So let's say I think I can get 3 out of them. Client Z, I can do 1. So what's that? 3? That's 6 in total. We know we need 10, right? So then I go, okay, I'll probably get 2 additional placements out of canvassing. It's a bit more risky, but I know my market and that's how it's going to work. I'm still short 2. So then I look at it and go, okay, what business development activities do I need to do in month 1 to pick up a couple more roles so that by month 2, I'm resourcing and headhunting and doing all those activities to fill those extra roles. So the beauty of this 5-point plan, it kind of gives you, it gives you a goal, right? You solidify what you're chasing. You then distill it down into how many placements do I need? You're aware of what activities you need to do. And then that last one, which is, where are you going to get the work from? Which clients have what roles for you? You're going to work out pretty quickly, do you have enough work or do you not have enough work? Too many people walk into their quarters blind, not really knowing, just kind of, oh yeah, it'll just flow, it'll just come. It makes me nervous because if you can't plan for it, if you can't see it, then it's just hit and hope. And we don't want that in recruitment, right? So I hope this helps someone. I feel like we don't need to overcomplicate it. Have an amazing quarter. Stick to those 5-point plan and write them all down and see how you feel about it. Everyone's plan's different. I pulled random numbers out of air for this episode, probably more aligned with my desk. But if your desk is any different to that, feel free. Take liberties to do what you want. The main point here is that you've got a plan, and a plan means you can execute it. And if you can execute it, you're probably going to achieve it. So that's it. Okay. Have an amazing day. I hope you got something out of it. If you like this one, please share it, subscribe, follow us on LinkedIn. If you want any extra material from our podcast, you can join the mailing list. Go to thelonerecruiter.com. And check it out. We got merch. Don't know if it's on the website yet, but if you're a recruiter and you want to get interviewed on this podcast, jump on and you will get one of these awesome caps for your own personal use. Amazing. Have an amazing day. And as always, may all your deals come true.